Ultra-high performance summer tires are designed to provide sharp handling and great dry grip, and they often have aggressively good-looking tread patterns. It's a fun category, but it's relatively small, so we always look forward to new additions that promise to add some excitement and aim to be the best in the class.
The Falcon Azenis FK510 and General G-Max RS are two new entries with their sights set on the top of the ultra-high performance summer category. So, to see how they stack up against the current leaders, we decided to compare them to the BF Goodrich G4 Sport Comp 2 and Firestone Firehawk Indy 500 for a full comparison. Let's see what we found out. Our team found a lot to like on the road thanks to the performance focus of this test group, with just a few things we would change if we could. The G-Max RS had a firm ride and light steering feel with eager response to inputs. Tread noise was barely noticeable, but there was some boom over impacts. The Firehawk Indy 500 delivered precise and alert handling that earned top marks from our testers, in addition to the firmest ride in the test. The Azenis FK510 had the softest ride, but it could use a little more motion control after impacts, and the steering had a slight dead spot on center. Noise was the biggest concern with the G4 Sport Comp 2 due to the moderately intrusive tread and impact noise, but the ride was appropriately taut and on-road handling was just right for a performance tire. The Firehawk Indy 500 felt the most overtly sporty of this group thanks to big grip, alert reflexes, and a natural tendency towards oversteer. The Azenis FK510 was more planted and stable with a balance that quickly built driver confidence. Though its average lap times were a step back from the rest, the G4 Sport Comp 2 felt natural and communicated well with the driver, but it didn't have the outright grip to keep up with the rest of the pack. The G-Max RS had good grip and set fast lap times, but its response to the driver's inputs were oddly out of phase, which ultimately hurt its subjective score. The two new products in our test essentially ran away from the existing competitors, and thanks to its effective levels of grip in all aspects, the G-Max RS was our team's subjective favorite. Objectively, the Azenis FK510 led the show, with confident grip and balance through all sections of the course that allowed the driver to push the limits and maximize the tire. The Firehawk Indy 500's wet traction was high enough to be useful for a daily driver, but tricky at-the-limit handling meant it was difficult to balance and a bit of a handful when pushed. Alternatively, the G4 Sport Comp 2 was very easy to drive and never felt twitchy, but lower limits meant it didn't have as much to offer as the other tires here.
With their engaging personalities, high limits, and typically attractive tread designs, ultra-high performance summer tires are fun to test and they make a great complement for a performance vehicle.
The General G-Max RS is a capable performer in the wet and the dry with agreeable on-road manners. Falcon's Azenis FK510 is composed and confident in the wet and impressive in the dry, with ride and light handling that could use a little further development. The Firehawk Indy 500 is the on-road handling and dry track champ, with wet traction that's acceptable but difficult to maximize. The BF Goodrich G4 Sport Comp 2 led the category for a long time in its heyday, but a noisy ride and limited grip in the wet are showing its age in light of the newest competitors.
As we compare tires side by side, we find each one has its own personality. It's not as easy as simply choosing between good and bad. So as you view our test results, it's important to focus on your priorities and what fits best with how, where, and what you drive. And also be sure to go to TireRack.com to read the full test report and to learn more about the tires featured in this test.